Yeah, we're in the news a lot for bad things happening. Dude, I've had some Tex-Mex, I can handle this. Drinking, driving, shooting. Know the laws, man. I didn't know I couldn't do that. So as an Albuquerque local, born and raised here, moved away for a little bit and then came back, but I always have the conversation with friends and family that live here. What are some of the things that outsiders do, or what are some of the things that you need to be made aware of if you're thinking about making that move to Albuquerque? Here's 6 things that you should never do when living in New Mexico. Plus, stay to the end of this video for an extra bonus thing you shouldn't do. It's a bonus lesson that we've all learned. This is all about Albuquerque. Hey, it's Skip at Sold by Skip, the Albuquerque real estate guy, and we post videos like this every week. So if it's your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything about Albuquerque, including what it's like to live here, work here, play here, then just be sure to tap that subscribe button and ring the little bell. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. Now, my team has been helping people from all over the world buy and sell property here in Albuquerque, and we look forward to connecting with you too. So give me a call or shoot me a text. Let's jump into it. Anytime you turn on the news, there's always a horror story of moving trucks getting broken into. So if you're making that move here and you happen to be driving through and your house isn't quite ready, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna stop and stay at a hotel. But if you have to park that big moving truck in the hotel parking lot, you may as well just put a big target, a big bullseye on it, because it's gonna get broken into, they're gonna steal your plasma TV, and you're gonna be that guy on the news like, I never thought it would have happened to me. One thing Albuquerque is known for is our crime stats. Look, it's no secret. That's something we always talk about up front. Yeah, we're in the news a lot for bad things happening. But again, as long as you're not an idiot, you won't be that guy that's on the news. Now, there's certain ways that you can avoid that. Always plan ahead, and if you can get an Airbnb versus staying in a hotel, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be just fine. Next thing that always bugs us is learn the lingo, man. Albuquerque, as we call it here, is Burque. So if you're ever from out of state and you want to try and fit in, you're like, we're gonna go to live in Berkey, man. Dude, I had a buddy of mine who came through town and he got on a hot mic and he was trying to amp up the club, right? He's like, hey, what's up, Berkey? And literally it was like crickets. Dude, it was so funny. It was so funny, but just keep that in mind. It's not Berkey, it's Burque. And if you ever forget, just ask one of us. We probably have it tattooed on us somewhere. Another thing to note as you're driving along through the streets of Albuquerque, we're pretty easy to navigate. That doesn't mean that gives you free reins to drive like an asshole. And keep in mind here, we are local. We like to keep our community tight knit, and we all follow the unwritten rules of the road. Number 1, don't honk. Don't honk. And that's not just for your safety, it's for the safety of everyone behind you, every pedestrian that's walking around you. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that you're honking at is having a bad day and they're about to unload on you. Any street fight I've ever been in has to do with honking. And whether I'm the one getting honked at, because here's the other thing. Yeah, if you're the guy that's getting honked at, local code says you have to put it in park now and whoop the dude's ass behind you for honking. Look, I didn't make the rules, but city council voted unanimously to make that part of our city code. So I don't want to get a traffic ticket by staying in my car like a little... Either way, I'm serious about this. Don't honk at people. For everybody, baby. One of the best tips I always give home buyers when they're shopping for homes, especially if you're not from Albuquerque, keep in mind we are at elevation. What that means is, besides 300 days of sunshine a year, that sun beats down on us directly because we're so high up. Now, anytime you're gonna be shopping for a house, make sure the backyard has a shade structure. It's very simple why, it's very logical, but for those 300 days of sunshine, in order to take advantage of them, you're gonna need to have some sort of shade structure. Otherwise, during the summertime, it's gonna be way too hot, there's no clouds, you're gonna have to stay inside all day. And also, just that shade structure is gonna add more value to your property when you go to resell it. So, especially if your backyard is south facing, that shade's gonna pay for itself. So when it comes to moving in elevation, be sure to hire movers. The last thing that you wanna be doing is number 1, driving that moving truck and parking at a hotel, but next is having to move all that stuff yourself. So one of the things that we offer on our team is a concierge service that's gonna take care of scheduling to turn your utilities on, changing your locks, hiring movers, hiring packers to come and unpack the truck. Because keep in mind, when you're at elevation, our oxygen is much less here than it is when you're at sea level. So if you're not used to it, it can really wreak havoc on your lungs. So you imagine carrying boxes through the summer heat. Be sure to work with a team that's got that concierge service that's gonna take care of you right. And anytime we have somebody moving in from California, especially because they're used to sea level and the humid air, it takes a toll. So make sure you hire movers and do it the right way when moving to Albuquerque. Plus, I've put together a comprehensive relocation guide. So if you're thinking about making that move to, in, or around Albuquerque, follow the link below to get that free relocation guide. It's gonna give you the tips and tricks that you're gonna need when relocating to New Mexico's largest city. One way to save yourself some hassle is to know the gun laws. I'm gonna run through just the basic gun laws here because listen, if you're transporting a firearm across state lines, there's a couple basics you need to know. One time we were on a road trip and we were packed into a car and we're heading to Arizona. And this is why I think it's so important to know the gun laws, is because as we're crossing the border, we hit that border patrol because we're right by the international border, so they check all the cars. The first thing they ask is, hey, you got any bodies in the back of the trunk? Or do you have any firearms? And of course I'm like, no. And then they searched the car and a buddy of mine had a concealed weapon. And I'm like, you didn't think to disclose that? And of course, so then they freak out, the dogs come in. Long story short, yeah, know the laws, man. Don't be that guy that's just like, oh, I don't know, I didn't know I couldn't do that, as you're walking around with loaded guns. So stay tuned. Here's Gun Rules 101. Let's talk about permit requirements. New Mexico does not require a permit to purchase or possess a rifle, shotgun, or handgun. However, carrying a concealed handgun does require a permit. Let's talk about open carry. Open carry of a legally owned firearm is generally allowed without a permit for individuals 19 years of age. Again, concealed carry, you're gonna have to have a license. Transporting firearms. When transporting firearms in a vehicle without a concealed carry license, the firearm should be unloaded. You can carry a loaded handgun as long as you have a license. Reciprocity. New Mexico does have reciprocity with certain states that uphold the same gun values that we do. I don't have that list, but I'm sure you can find it online. And you should if you're gonna be traveling with a gun across state lines. Of course, if you're carrying a firearm, you do have that duty to disclose it to a peace officer if they approach you. And the last thing, of course, is if you're drunk, the law says you can't carry a loaded firearm anywhere. So yeah, drinking, driving, drinking, shooting, either way, know the laws, protect us all. Here's a bonus thing you need to know that you should not do in New Mexico, and Albuquerque especially. Respect the red, respect the green.
Okay.
Don't come into our state thinking that you can handle spicy food and then order a big old gut bomb from Sadie's New Mexican food. Which, by the way, we're very tribal about our New Mexican food here. So I'm on Team Sadie's. You can always judge a New Mexican restaurant by the quality of their carne adobada with red chili and their sopapillas. And hands down, Sadie's is the best. So respect it though. Don't come into our town thinking dude, I've had some Tex-Mex, I can handle this. Because as soon as you eat that red chili burrito, you're gonna feel like a boss until you get 2 hours outside of town on your road trip to Tucumcari. You're gonna be blowing your back out all over the back seat. That's disgusting, but also that's true. Respect the red, it'll respect you. So again, if you're thinking about making that move to, in, or around Albuquerque, be sure to reach out. You can always give me a call or shoot me a text. Wait, before you leave, I wanna share another video you might find informative by clicking up here. And lastly, friends, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this link to stay up to date with future videos. As always, visit soldbyskip.com for a free list of homes priced to sell. Thanks for watching.